knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Mardy Mcfly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig the dirt to plant the seed. Spread roots till you sprout like a tree. Doni Jones, she the one you wanna see. Doni Jones live, this is where you wanna be. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Doni Jones Live, where we are bringing you awesome people that are doing great things in the community. And today we have a repeat guest who is doing some really awesome work in the fitness industry. She's a lady that you guys may have already met before and seen on our show, but she's also a true inspiration to me, and that's why I wanted her to be back on the show again. Plus, she's got a brand new facility that we're gonna talk a little bit about today, and she's got some big and better things happening that I think will also inspire you. And I'm talking about Miss Carla Fields. Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, exactly. Last time we were in my living room.
Right.
I didn't want to do it in my living room this time because I was like, no, we got to see this. We got to show the exactly big changes.
Yeah.
But why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself, Carla?
Well, okay, so I'm a fitness competitor, aerobics instructor, business owner. And so Carla Fields Fitness has been around for about 30 years now. And what I do is I change lives. Yeah. One of my clients says, you have saved my life over and over and over again, and you don't even know it. Right. But I do fitness, and we talk about meal plans and real world. What is it going to take to get you to where you want to go? What is going on in your life, and how can I help you as it relates to your body or nutrition, or feel better and have high energy and age gracefully? We're all struggling for the same thing. That's right. I know that I am, and I'm not afraid to tell you. I'm 60 years old now, and so I'm trying to really age gracefully. I want to be cute. I want to be sexy. Okay, I want to just try to keep everything as tight as possible. So I love fitness. It is my passion, and I want to share it with the world. When you find something that you can do for the rest of your life, and it feels normal. It feels normal to me. I get up every morning, 3 a.m. That's normal. It's not a problem. It's not a struggle. When I was in corporate, that was a struggle. I was like, every morning, got to get up. Okay, when you can go all day long and it's 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you know you got to get back up at 3 a.m., that means you found your passion.
Yeah, that's right.
But what it's about, it's about helping people. That's right. People say, why is that so important to you that you're giving and helping other people? It makes me feel good.
That's right. Well, the thing that you said that I want to piggyback on is that she said that she likes to help people get fit and age gracefully. And that's exactly what she's done. She's gotten fit and she's aged gracefully, but she's also a powerhouse entrepreneur. I've seen her, you know, from a little small space to grow into where you literally just moved into this space.
I moved into this space in October.
Yeah,
so what is that, 4 or 5 months?
Yes, and let me tell you why that's so powerful. I did I guess a post about what are you doing right now? Yeah. Because people were talking about how bad 2020 was. Yeah. And I think about people like you that in 2020, you took time out of your schedule to reevaluate whatever was going on in your life, and you took a step up in 2020.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So can you talk to the people a little bit about what it takes?
It was scary. I had to be pushed, and I had a 5-year plan. We all have these plans. So I've been in fitness for 30 years, and each year, like every 5 years, I'm like, okay, what do you want to do now? You want to just do personal training? Where do you want to grow to? Do you want a brand? Do you want a second location? Do you want a television show? What do you want?
She wanted all of that.
I wanted all of that, but it started out as I'm going to be on stage, and I'm going to compete and build my name, and then the people will come. And they did. They found me, they came, and I transformed them and changed their lives, so to speak. So then I moved in October. We were going through the COVID. Everybody was going through the COVID situation, and I had an opportunity, and it was scary, and I wasn't sure that I was going to jump on it. But sometimes you have to be pushed, and so I was pushed, and I said, okay, I'm going to just take that leap of faith. I found this location. When I found it and I looked at it, I was like, okay, okay, there's some work that needs
because if y'all hadn't noticed, everything is purple in here, and it's a color of royalty, but it's also your signature color.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you had to do a little bit of build out.
Yeah, we had to do a whole lot of build out. It's a whole lot of build out, but we negotiated a really good deal. And when you're moving, the landlord will give you an allowance. So that was in place, and then the rest, of course, I had to kick in. But I wanted it to feel good because I'm coming here every morning. I got to be here at 5 a.m. and sometimes I'm here all day until it's dark. It might be 7 o'clock.
There you go.
So we took a jump, and it worked out.
It did
and I can talk about it now. I couldn't talk about it before while we were doing that move, and I was kind of scared.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm moving out of my comfort zone, my space where I've been in for 7 years.
Yeah.
I had been in that location for 7 years. It was fine. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, what if this is not the right move?
Right.
But it was a step up.
It is a step up, and it's a beautiful step up. I want you guys to get a chance to take a look at this, so we're going to take a walk real quick and have you check this out because it's amazing. Absolutely beautiful.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hi, I'm Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. I wanted to give you a chance to meet our team and to say thank you, Atlanta, for giving us the chance for the last 20 years to take care of your trees. I don't do this alone. I do this with a great team of people that make this happen. So once again, if you need tree work, give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE, where we are proud to serve the underserved.
Don's Tree Service.
Hey, write this number down. 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. Have you ever thought about having a produced commercial for your next event? Your church anniversary, birthday, family reunion, or if you just need some production work done? VAST Productions can help. We're an audio-video production house specializing in making your audio and video dreams come to life. Thinking about a family documentary or a church history story? Call us at 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278. VAST Productions has over 20 years of production experience, and we're ready to work for you. To get started, just call 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278.
Global Push presents It's in the Bag. If you're an aspiring artist looking to push your music from state to state, it's in the bag. Artists with finished, marketable material ready to go global, you need to get in the bag. We have several packages to choose from. Bronze, city promotions, silver, city and state-to-state promotions, and gold, city and state-to-state promotions, as well as performances. Here are some of the states we are currently pushing the bag. Cincinnati, it's in the bag. Dallas, it's in the bag. Miami, it's in the bag. New York, it's in the bag. ATL, it's in the bag. The bag is coming to a state near you. So for more information, go to hitwayallday.com and of course call 414-699-8364 to be sure you get in the bag.
Calling all Greeks, Masons, Eastern Stars. If you're looking for the most stylish paraphernalia, you need to make your way to Nubian Books. From t-shirts to sweaters, jackets to hats, and everything in between. Nubian Books also has a vast collection of urban comics, cards, calendars, and books from great African American authors. Nubian Books also handles special orders. If they don't already have it, they'll get it. Nubian Books, 1540 South Lake Parkway in Morrow, 678-422-6120.
Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Okay, so this is where the magic happens.
This is where it happens.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the space?
Well, strength. Okay, well, first of all, this is strength training. So I have all this same equipment that I've always had, and when I need to cover it, I just get it recovered, and we keep using it.
And it's purple.
It's purple.
Okay, do you mind if I take a time out and talk about branding a little bit? Because you're obviously a successful trainer. But one thing I've known about you is your thing is purple and the turquoise.
Yes.
Can you explain to the fellow entrepreneurs that are listening why it's so important to stay consistent with your look and your brand?
It's your logo. It's what people identify with. So I have purple and teal, and those are my colors. They're in my logo, and it's patented. So my attorney, she's on top of it. As a matter of fact, every 6 months she'll call and she'll say, okay, we have to redo your trademark.
Yes.
So that is who you are. And so when people see those colors, even if they don't know anything else, but they see the figure of the woman and that little man that's right next to her, and then they see those colors, they're like Carla Fields.
Carla Fields,
so you want them to be able to identify with that even without seeing your face.
That's right.
So that's why it's important.
It is important. And you guys, I do the same thing in my business. I own a tree service here in Atlanta, Don's Tree Service, and people will tell me all the time, oh, you guys are the ones with the red trucks, or you guys are the ones with the red.
Absolutely.
And so it's a way that I branded myself, and then of course the lettering is the same on everything. Even if it's a white truck with the color reverse, the lettering is going to be the same. So that's important.
I saw that on your truck today.
Yeah.
There's a truck at my house today.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, we're doing tree work for her today. Okay, let's be professional.
Okay.
But we're doing tree work for you. But going back to your space, you do cardio, you do strength, you do
strength training and cardio blended together. But look, the most important thing is, what does the client need?
Okay, yes.
So we got to start with a consultation, and that client's going to tell me the story. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make it happen and make it feel normal. So what happens is, if I thrust on that client what I would do, or my kind of workout, what Carla Fields does on a daily basis, I may scare that client away. It may be too much. I want to get inside of that person to find out, okay, you said that you wanted to tone up. You want to drop some body fat. You want to drop some water weight, whatever it is that's bothering you. So once I figure out what it is that you need to do, then we put together a program. The program would be strength training if you're telling me that I want to tone. So keyword tone. That means we're going to do something weightlifting. Then I want to burn some body fat. So we're going to.
Now, how do you burn body fat? I want to know.
Well, okay, so body fat, and don't be confused with body fat BMI. BMI has to do with what should I be for my age and my height. Okay. You know, what weight should I be for my age?
And BMI stands for body mass index.
Index, right.
See, you taught me some stuff a long time ago.
Look at there.
You had me fill out a whole form.
Exactly. So what should I be, and it's what doctors look at. And they're like, okay, you're 5'5", and this is what you should weigh. And if you do that, then you have a number on a scale. BMI should be somewhere between 18 and 25. That's where it should be. If it's over 25 and you're 30, chances are you need to lose weight. Okay, if it's under 18, chances are you're probably a little bit too lean. So we have to put together a meal plan for you, which is what I do here. Now, what is body fat? Body fat is cosmetic, okay?
Really?
It's two different things.
But I thought body fat is not healthy.
It's cosmetic on how you want to look. It is not healthy. It is the amount of fat that is in your body basically causing you to not look lean. And most people that are coming in, they want to lose body fat.
I want to look lean.
Well, they say they want to lose weight.
Yeah.
But to me, okay, so there's water weight, there's muscle weight, there's body fat weight. Which one of those do you want to lose? So what we have to do is do a body fat test. Now you have technology. So it takes, 10 seconds? Step on top of the scale, and then it tells me, okay, body fat is 25%, 30%, 40%. Okay, so you're seeing 40s and 45s and 50s and even high 30s, then that's
obesity, right?
Yeah, we need to lose weight. Okay. So then we need cardio. So cardio and weightlifting. Now weightlifting will definitely do it by itself, but if you blend it with some cardio, then you're going to get better results.
Gotcha.
The reason I like my weights, especially as we age, that toning effect. That's right. There's just no way to get around the anti-aging.
Yes, and that's why we're talking about aging gracefully. Her big thing is getting fit and aging gracefully.
Right. Now what is happening is, and I don't want to get it all confused, but people think, oh, I got to do all these burpees and jumping to the floor, and I'm going to do all of these jumping jacks and all this squat jumps, and that's great, fine. Okay. But if you come to me and I told you I'm 60 years old, and you're telling me, hey, I'm 65, I'm 70. Yeah. Or 30, 35, 40, 25. I got them all ages. First thing I want to know is, what can you do? Yeah. What is good for your body, for your knees, for your rotator cuff, for your, your wrists. Make sure you don't get any kind of carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
So if I got you on the floor doing some planks and you got to hold your body up, are there
So
problems?
they got to build up to that.
It depends. I want to know what's going on already.
Yeah.
And if you're coming to me and you tell me this part kind of bothers me,
Yeah.
then I need to be creative
Yeah.
and come up with a routine for you where you can still get results, burn body fat, but if your knees hurt, we don't have to do burpee.
Well, for the people that are I was getting ready,
we don't have to
guys,
do burpee.
I was getting ready to say something. I was going to say, for those of you that are in the Atlanta area, how can they get in contact with you? But because our show is in multiple cities nationwide, which, we're growing, and on the internet, you also do Zoom classes, so you don't just have to be in Atlanta. No. So for people to get in contact with you, get trained by you, and pay her to train you, how can they get in contact with you?
First of all, you can go to my website, carlafields.com. Everything is right there. There's a phone number, 678-283-9978. It's on my website. The email, carlafields@carlafields.com. Those are the best two ways to get in touch with me, either email or you can just call me direct or you can text me. And you can set up an appointment. Once you set up, everything is by appointment, no walk-ins, because we are truly trying to cater to the individual, and I cannot cater if I just have an open gym where people can come in and do what they want to do.
Absolutely.
So what I am doing now is just making sure that the client receives the attention they need by scheduling an appointment. Okay?
I love it.
Once you do that, you schedule your appointment. First thing we're going to do is talk about what your goals are.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me, okay, this is what's going on. And I mean, everybody's coming in and saying, I want to lose weight and tone up. But
that's what I would say.
But some people are coming in and saying wellness. I just need to reduce some stress. I have hypertension. My doctor sent me here. I have diabetes, and I think that's the thing. Exercise can help with all of that. And I, for those of you that don't know, I've been on my own journey, and I talk about, I've got a YouTube presence, and I also do it on Facebook and Instagram, where I talk about this journey that I've been on. And I've been around you for years, but I've just recently started taking it seriously. So we're gonna take a quick break and come back, and maybe, you never know, you might have to see your girl doing a little something. So let's get it to work out.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hi, I'm Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. I wanted to give you a chance to meet our team and to say thank you, Atlanta, for giving us the chance for the last 20 years to take care of your trees. I don't do this alone. I do this with a great team of people that make this happen. So once again, if you need tree work, give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE, where we are proud to serve the underserved.
Don's Tree Service.
Hey, write this number down, 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. Have you ever thought about having a produced commercial for your next event? Your church anniversary, birthday, family reunion, or if you just need some production work done? VAST Productions can help. We're an audio video production house specializing in making your audio and video dreams come to life. Thinking about a family documentary or a church history story? Call us at 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278. VAST Productions has over 20 years of production experience, and we're ready to work for you. To get started, just call 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278.
Way Global Push presents It's in the Bag. If you're an aspiring artist looking to push your music from state to state, it's in the bag. Artists with finished, marketable material ready to go global, you need to get in the bag. We have several packages to choose from. Bronze, city promotions; silver, city and state-to-state promotions; and gold, city and state-to-state promotions, as well as performances. Here are some of the states we are currently pushing the bag. Cincinnati, it's in the bag. Dallas, it's in the bag. Miami, it's in the bag. New York, it's in the bag. ATL, it's in the bag. The bag is coming to a state near you. So for more information, go to hitwayallday.com, and of course call 414-699-8364 to be sure you get in the bag.
Calling all Greeks, Masons, Eastern Stars. If you're looking for the most stylish paraphernalia, you need to make your way to Nubian Books. From t-shirts to sweaters, jackets to hats, and everything in between. Nubian Books also has a vast collection of urban comics, cards, calendars, and books from great African American authors. Nubian Books also handles special orders. If they don't already have it, they'll get it. Nubian Books, 1540 South Lake Parkway in Morrow, 678-422-6120.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
We're back with Miss Carla Fields, and this time it's about to be personal.
Yes, it is.
So
I've known her forever, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
We have a past, a history, and
Yes.
she's worked out with me, and I've been to her home, and I've trained her at her home.
That's right.
And she looks great.
Thank you. But I've got a long way to go. And what I always tell people is consistency and discipline. The consistency is that she has always reached out to me. She's always sending me videos and information. The discipline comes to me. The discipline and the consistency always has to come back on my shoulders. I haven't been consistent and disciplined in following the plan that she's given me, but I have started doing so in the last 254 days, and I've lost 28 pounds.
And that's why I looked at you. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? Wonderful.
Yeah, I've lost 28 pounds. But what got me, and you taught me this, was that I hit a point where it wasn't moving anymore.
Yeah.
But my pants were getting looser. Even this little shirt that I, wear periodically is smaller because I used to wear extra large. Now I can wear large. And I used to not wear shirts that were fitting because I wasn't comfortable with the way my body looked.
You look good, shapely.
Thank you. So I had to learn that muscle really does.
Yeah. It weighs more.
Yeah, exactly.
Muscle weighs more and takes up less space.
Yeah.
So does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so fatty tissue takes up more space and it's a little bit lighter. And think about it just sitting on top of a pool. You're in a pool. If you were to take a blob of fat and you put it on top of the pool water, it kind of sits there.
Yeah.
But if you take a weight,
it'll sink.
It sinks straight to the bottom.
So what should I be doing now? Okay, I'm at this point where I've lost 28 pounds, but I still, in my opinion, I still am too fluffy. I'm still too big. Okay. And I really want to get lean. Yeah. And I want to lose body fat, but and even though I get lean, I do want to be smaller. Like even if I was this weight and I was fit, I don't want to be this heavy. Well, I don't want to carry this much weight around.
First thing is we need to do a body fat test.
Okay.
So we really need to see exactly what's going on inside. So is it muscle?
We're not doing that on camera, are we?
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Well, we can do that now. Wait a
minute, you know what? She has that equipment.
I do. Yeah. She just step on it, and in less than 60 seconds, it'll tell me the story of what she has in her body. Okay. Then I can determine what you need to do. But let's assume that you're like, I know what I need to do. I need to drop some body fat. My body fat's not where it needs to be. I don't know what that number is, but you know that you want to drop it. How do you do it? She needs cardio, straight up. Okay. So if I did a routine on you, I might, for example, let's say it's a leg day, and I have different days. Okay, so I have leg day, arm day, back day, calisthenic day, boxing day, so 6 days of different things. So if it were a leg day, I wouldn't put you on just straight leg machines. Okay. I would say, okay, first of all, let's get you warmed up. So we'll warm you up with either a treadmill bike, elliptical stepper, or aerobics. Okay. Okay, so I get her in the zone, and she's breathing. Whew, she's in her THR zone, her target heart rate zone. Love it. And so we're gonna do 220 minus her age, and we're gonna work her out at 85% of that, and that number's gonna be maybe like a 140 something, or 23, 24, 25 beats. Okay. So if I were to take her pulse, I'm like, okay, you're in the zone. Now let's do a machine. So get on that machine and stay on that for about 2 minutes. Come off of that leg machine. Okay. After you've done the leg machine, come off of it, and let's do something else that's cardio related. Okay. Okay. I need to know whether or not you have any. I do. As far as I know, I don't have any issues. But if you don't have any issues, then we go for cardio, and there's different kinds of cardio. So she could just run in place. She could do like a little basketball drill. Okay. She could do some jumping jacks if her knees don't bother her. Yep. I could put her down in a plank position, and she can do some jumping jacks on the floor. We could do some squats on where you squat and your jump is like a squat jump. You can do burpees. So we'll do it for about 30 seconds. Okay. Okay, you really don't, I can follow. So far I can follow this. Okay, 30 seconds of something. Yeah. And then get back on the machine. So pick another leg machine. Okay, so when you do that for about 2 minutes, you stay on that machine, and you come off, and guess what? cardio again, something cardio. Treadmill. I'm going to hop on the treadmill and I'm just going to run at my own pace. Okay, I don't know what your pace is. That treadmill will go up to a 10.
I'm not a 10.
Okay, so, but it's 30 seconds.
Okay.
What can you do for 30 seconds?
I can go hard for 30 seconds.
There you go.
That's what I tell my husband.
Now, I've had we are on camera.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh my God.
You said get fit and be vibrant.
Okay,
you know?
she's feeling it.
Exactly.
But we were doing a machine.
And we are on gospel stations. I need to clean that up. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know where that came from. Okay.
It just popped in my head.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, go ahead. We're back.
I might even have her run out the front door. Okay, it's beautiful outside.
Yeah.
Okay, and I love this area because there's nobody over here. I got the whole parking lot, and I do a lot of stuff outside. So I say, okay, run down to the end and run back in. And then we pick another machine and we get on the machine. So I'm going to keep her moving. Her machines are 2 minutes and her cardio is 30 seconds.
Okay. Now what should I eat?
Oh, okay. Well, now, here's what's going on with the eating thing. People are going too strict, I think.
Okay.
And so then they bottom out either at night. You can go strict all day long because you can just drink coffee.
Yeah, and that's what happens when I get home.
Away.
I'll do really good, right? And I'm feeling myself. I feel good. I'm on my goals. I'm eating clean all day. And around 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'll smell something. I'm like,
voices start talking.
Yeah.
They talk to you at night. You know why? Because
it's okay to have voices in my head.
Yeah, me too. I got them too. But you know why? It's because we're calm. We finally, and so you need to analyze that.
Okay.
Talk to yourself and say, when I want to binge, why is it? It's probably because you have done for everybody all day long. You did your businesses, and you have several.
Yeah.
And now, when you're busy like that, you're like, I don't even think about food.
I don't,
No, but then when you calm down and okay, I'm at home, I took my shower, it's time to watch a movie, or I just want to read a book. First thing we think about is what?
I want to eat something to eat.
I want something to eat.
Yeah.
And then the voices say, don't eat. I had this great soup that I made the other night.
Okay.
Vitamix.
Blender. I love the Vitamix.
Okay, so see, I need to be branding. You see what I'm saying? They need to be paying me for talking
Vitamix.
Vitamix. Okay.
Y'all need to,
But I use the Vitamix, and y'all some using Ninjas, but whatever it is, you need a high-powered blender.
Okay.
So I took a bag of frozen vegetables.
Okay.
Put it in the microwave for about a minute, 60 seconds, just to kind of thaw them out. Dumped them in the Vitamix. Then I had chicken. I had a chicken can of chicken breasts. I mean, people are talking, we're going to get back to food in a minute, but I'm just a real world girl.
She's the real deal, y'all.
And I'm just not going to always be doing whole foods and eating non-processed.
But I will say this, and you've taught me this. If you really want to do something, you do it. And I have found that you can still get organic chicken, organic stuff like that at Publix. It didn't have to be Whole Foods, Kroger, Publix, something like that.
You can. But we're talking about, I got home and it's 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Got it.
I'm in a hurry and I did not have the chicken breast ready.
Okay.
The organic chicken breast is sitting in the refrigerator. I do have an air fryer, but that's going to take 7 minutes.
So we're at the canned chicken. Go ahead.
I got a can of chicken, and I rinsed it to get the excess sodium out, and I dumped it in the blender and with some sodium-reduced chicken broth, and blended it down into a smoky chicken vegetable soup. It was so soothing and so good. And we've had some chilly nights. And I got my vegetables and my protein, and that's how you lean out. So to answer your
that's
question,
what I want to do is lean out.
Lean out.
That's the word, lean out,
Lean
y'all.
out, lean out, lean out. Vegetables
here's what I'm
going
gonna do.
Watch your carbs and watch your oil.
We got to take a quick break, but this is what I'm going to commit to you, okay? And I'm doing this on camera so I can hold myself accountable. I'm doing a 365-day journey, and I'm on day 255 right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the 100 days to go. I really am not I'm further along than I was when I started the journey. But I would like to take the next 110 days and work with you to see what magic we can make happen. And I'm willing to pay for that. And let's see if we can create some miracles and inspire people to be over 50, and in this case with her over 60, and to be sexy, well, and fit. Yes.
Absolutely.
I love it. But you guys, thank you for checking out the show. Once again, you can catch her at Carla Fields Fitness.
CarlaFields.com.
CarlaFields.com. CarlaFields.com.
Yeah, Carla.
CarlaFields.com.
Right.
See, that's
and
why I
the
got
company name is Carla Fields Fitness, so
that's
she did
right.
have that right.
Yeah, Carla Fields Fitness. I should know after all these years.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you for checking out the show.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. We appreciate it. And check us out online.
Will.
Like, share, subscribe. Doni Jones Live, and we'll see you next week.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Hi, I'm Doni, the tree lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. I wanted to give you a chance to meet our team and to say thank you, Atlanta, for giving us the chance for the last 20 years to take care of your trees. I don't do this alone. I do this with a great team of people that make this happen. So once again, if you need tree work, give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE, where we are proud to serve the underserved.
Don's Tree Service.
Hey, write this number down. 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. Have you ever thought about having a produced commercial for your next event? Your church anniversary, birthday, family reunion, or if you just need some production work done? VAST Productions can help. We're an audio video production house specializing in making your audio and video dreams come to life. Thinking about a family documentary or a church history story? Call us at 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278. VAST Productions has over 20 years of production experience, and we're ready to work for you. To get started, just call 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-VAST. That's 1-888-470-8278.
Way Global Push presents It's in the Bag. If you're an aspiring artist looking to push your music from state to state, it's in the bag. Artists with finished, marketable material ready to go global, you need to get in the bag. We have several packages to choose from. Bronze, city promotions, silver, city and state-to-state promotions, and gold, city and state-to-state promotions, as well as performances. Here are some of the states we are currently pushing the bag. Cincinnati, it's in the bag. Dallas, it's in the bag. Miami, it's in the bag. New York, it's in the bag. ATL, it's in the bag. The bag is coming to a state near you. So for more information, go to hitwayallday.com and of course call 414-699-8364 to be sure you get in the bag.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am so excited that you guys get a chance to hang with us today, because today on our show, we've got a gentleman that I met actually a couple years ago, and it's amazing because sometimes God puts people in your life and it's a win-win situation, but you don't quite know how things are gonna turn out. And when I met this gentleman, I found out he was a speaker, he's an author, he's an entrepreneur, and he was already doing things that I was only aspiring to do at that time. And I feel like it's a great opportunity to bring him on the show because he has something to say about all of those things, all about being a speaker, all about being an entrepreneur, and also a relationship expert. And I think that's something we kind of need to talk about today. And I am talking about none other than Mr. Elam King. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. I'm gonna sit back and not be cheesy with you. Well, I am glad to have you, man. Yeah. And I meant it when I said that I felt like this was a win-win situation when we met, because, I mean, obviously we didn't know how we would ever work together or whatever, but just looking at what you were doing, how you were already putting out content, how you were already a published author, and you were just doing your thing, and you just kind of occupied this space that I was like, man, I want to be there. And I honor you for sharing your gift with me, and now sharing your gift with my audience. So,
hey, listen, you know, every time that we even get on the phone or start having a conversation, we can go for like hours.
Exactly.
And but it's organic and natural from not only our meeting, but then just, I guess, inside of your purpose and what you do. And I guess the same thing for me. And along the way, I get a chance to just meet incredible individuals like yourself. So I appreciate you.
Yeah. It's funny. He is an incredible individual himself too. But Elam, I know you'd been on our show before, and we talked primarily about relationships and everything that But I really wanted to dig into a little bit more about our last conversation, which wasn't on screen. And that was about being in this COVID situation and stopping and smelling the roses. Because so many people are in this space where they're like, okay, we got to get through this. We got to get past this. This got to get back to normal.
Right.
And there's never going to be whatever people perceive to be normal again. I think it's always going to be something that's evolving. But I feel like people need to hear that it's okay to be in the space that we're in right now.
Yes, that's something I really started more of last year, of just being okay with where I am.
Yeah.
And I learned this actually from my pastor, that where you are is just as important as where you want to go. And I think that if you understand, of course, we always want to be aspiring to do things or whatever. I think that I started school early, and so everybody that was around me was always older than me. So it started me on a track of, okay, if somebody's older than you, then normally they have a little bit more than you, right? So I like that space because it always put me in a space of wanting to aspire for more things. But sometimes I don't stop and just say, I just realized I had a book like last year. Even though it's been out for like 3-4 years, I'm like, I got a whole book because I'm looking for the next book or the next interview or the next. So it's important to stop and just thank God for where you are. And I know there's even a verse that talks about, the birds don't worry about next week and next month or whatever. And I'd be like, man, birds just be chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to chill sometimes too.
But birds also don't have no bills to pay.
That's
but
true.
I mean,
they got their own. They got nests to build and get away from the cat.
True.
They got things that they got to run away from too. And we have, we're a more intelligent species, so we have more things. But I need to stop and be like, you know what? I need to recognize Morgan at 13 years old, because I'm gonna turn around and she's gonna be 20, and I'm like, I remember that little person. So it's just in all multiple facets and just being thankful. So
well, you being a gentleman that is kind of focused on relationships, what have you noticed that people are either getting or not getting from their relationships now that we're dealing with this whole, you stuck inside, or COVID-19, or people realizing they're happy with their partner, or they're realizing, nah, this ain't where I want to be for the rest of my life?
Do you have an hour?
I got an hour, but we're not going to do an hour today.
I would just
That'll
say,
be part 2.
I'd just say really quickly that just like in a relationship, right? When you're dating, I always say that that marriage exposes what was already there. So it's kind of like, the movie Fast and Furious, and they're already driving fast and they hit that nitro button. Okay, so when you're dating, you're doing the Fast and Furious. When you get married, it hits the nitro button. So what you were already doing, it just makes it bigger, right? That's what COVID did for a lot of relationships. Something was already there. So COVID came, boom, and just took you from, maybe we would have got divorced in 10 years to we're getting divorced next month. Because, and it's sad to say, but sometimes people are spending time away from each other for 8-9 hours a day being at work. I actually saved some people, and the reason why is because, some people are not friends. They're spouses. And there's a difference between being a spouse and a wife, being a spouse and a husband. And so if you're a husband, it's that's different. The interaction, the caring. If you're a wife, the same thing. And so, identifying what's important for that other person, actually making them happy, and then focusing on your happy as well. So some people just really weren't making each other happy. They just used to travel out of town a lot, so they didn't have to worry about it, right? And so now you up under somebody 24/7, or you can hear them all day long. I mean, that's how I feel about my children in the summertime when they would come home from school, and now 2 months here around, I'm like, I really don't like you. 2 months here. I love them.
But see, I do, and I'm one of those crazy moms, though. I'm like, I'm one of those that's kind of always wanting my kids around. But then again, I also do work a lot. But I did I made the conscious choice when I started my business that it wasn't going to consume me and stop me from being a mom. And it also wasn't going to stop me from being a wife. It wasn't going to stop me from, trying to, I don't want to use the term serve, but in a way, I do call it serve my husband, and be there for my husband. And actually, that's one of the things that we talked about also that I'd like for you to talk about from the male perspective. Like I talked about how I feel like even though I'm a working woman, that it's important to me, I don't like the word subservient because it wasn't that, but it's also to be a safe space for my husband.
Absolutely.
To be a peaceful place for my husband. And I think that with this COVID thing, people were like, okay, I come home to a little hell, doing my regular work schedule, but now there's no work schedule, or they're laid off or whatever, and they're coming home to hell at home, and it just kind of causes the relationship to fray. Yeah. And I'm obviously, you cannot just put that on the wife, but I just feel like now a lot of women say that they want a husband, but they don't want to necessarily be a wife.
Yeah, it's
the way men perceive they want a wife.
It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility to date. It's a responsibility to be married. It's a responsibility to be a parent. You know. And so what comes with that, I was talking to you about Clubhouse earlier, right? So I was on Clubhouse yesterday, and somebody, we were just kind of talking about relationships, and the person was just like, it just shouldn't have to be that hard. And I was just like, well, who told you? And I know where it comes from a social norm perspective. The knight in shining armor, you just hop on the horse and just go on off. Okay, when you go on off and do all that, there's work to be done. And if you don't want to do that work, that's okay. It's no differently than being wealthy. Everybody can't be rich, because it's a responsibility that comes with it. It's a responsibility to be broke too. It's a responsibility for wealth. So it's a responsibility to be single.
Now y'all see why I want this man on the show.
I mean, it has a responsibility. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. Just don't go and grab somebody's whole life forever and say, oh, well, we should just be able to just work this out. No. If you work this out, one of the first things I always ask people is, are you in counseling? No. Okay. So this is your forever. Longevity, and you don't have somebody that's going to guide you along that way, and and a lot of times inside of our culture particularly, but I just think I'll say this is across the board because I have clients that are all ethnic groups, and I know that particularly for men, we might have some communication gaps and how we were raised and be tough and not speak out or whatever, and now we meet this woman forever, and now we have to turn around and be expressive and communicate and all that. And so there's a responsibility for us inside of that. Simultaneously, with a woman in your home, that having a house and a home are two different things.
You better preach.
And creating that environment to where that peace that exists there. I have a responsibility in there too, but however, there's some things that just rest on the wife. Keeping the peace.
I agree. Okay, that's the thing that we got on. The fact that, and I'm a strong supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, but I'm talking specifically about straight relationships. You have there's certain dynamics that I feel are just natural between a husband and a wife, and I think people fight that nowadays as opposed to embracing it. Roles. My husband cooks sometimes, I cook sometimes, but that's not what I mean. I mean, like, sometimes it's okay to just not be right. Sometimes it's nice to just, it let him think that was his idea. It's okay. Not because I'm putting myself down. It's just that I know that he's wired differently than I am. So I might see something that he doesn't see. Why argue about it when it's just the reason why he doesn't see it is because we're wired different? And I just don't think people embrace that enough.
I get so much pushback from when I start talking about gender roles and things of that nature. And so it's like, why do I have to nobody's asking you to dumb yourself down.
No, not
submission.
Do not dumb yourself
Submission
down.
Is a strength. It's not a weakness, but it's looked upon as if you're supposed to be under somebody's feet. No, go be as great as you want to. But if you really understood the power of your femininity, then you would know that the submission portion is actually a strength. It's not a weakness. And again, it's a responsibility that comes with inside of that, inside of the matrimonial space. And so I feel that there are some women love to have that level of being liberal and girl power and all that stuff. But then you want the man to be conservative inside of his roles of security and pay bills and protection and fatherhood and all that. But you want to go be Miss Liberal. Like, pick a struggle. Which one do you want?
But I think you can have both. I think you can have both, but there has to be a conversation about what that looks like, and also, do you know what you're marrying? People say that that's what they want, but then they go get a knucklehead, or they say that's what they want, but then they go get a guy that can't keep a job.
Well, that's one of the reasons why that I have an online course coming out, and
talk to us about that.
Pre-marriage. online course. It's called Are We Ready Yet? Because there's so many spaces that people don't even look at outside of his teeth are nice and you think he has a good background, whatever case it be, and the sex is amazing or whatever case it be.
Right.
That's great.
And he got a nice car.
Yeah, and he got a nice car and your girls, think he's great or whatever. Well, let's look at your ancestral patterns. Okay. What's down your lineage that's going to come into your marriage later on?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, do you even know your love language? Do you even know how to love yourself, let alone be able to share and teach that person? Because the whole Blues Clues thing, he should just figure you out. Right. That's a no-no. Have you talked about children? How many children that you're going to have? How's the discipline going to be? When it comes to religion, have you talked about infidelity and communication and finances? It is about the money. That's even in the Bible.
Money is generally, they say, one of the top reasons.
It's the number 2 reason. Number 1 is infidelity. Number 2 is finances. Number 3 is communication. For the biggest reasons why that people get divorces. And so, are you having business meetings? Marriage, the biggest business, emotional, and financial decision that you will ever make in your life.
Preach.
There's a business aspect that exists of marriage. Have you even looked at that? So. I went to that space as well because when you have 50% divorce rate inside of the U.S. and inside of the African American,
it's higher than that in our
it's
community.
70%. So let's really look at this. You line up 10 couples and 7 are not making it right now. That's before COVID. It's before COVID. So you're signing up for the biggest move in your life with a 70% chance of failing. But then when I ask you, are you in counseling?
No, I'll tell you what literally just happened last week. I was at a client's house who also happens to be a friend. And she is going through some challenges right now in her marriage. First thing I asked her was, have you talked about counseling? She said, oh, he won't do that. So what do you do in a situation like that where they have been together for a while? So you don't just throw a relationship like that down the drain. But he doesn't want to he doesn't believe in that. He's like, well, no, we're going to work it out. By the way, guys, we're talking to Elam King. He is the author of Understanding a Man, and he's also got a course coming up. I want to take a quick break so you can answer that clearly. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Doni Jones Live with Donnie the Tree Lady and Elam King, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. I wanted to give you a chance to meet our team and to say thank you, Atlanta, for giving us the chance for the last 20 years to take care of your trees. I don't do this alone. I do this with a great team of people that make this happen. So once again, if you need tree work, give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE, where we are proud to serve the underserved.
Don's Tree Service.
Lady hanging out with this wonderful gentleman, Mr. Elam King, and we were talking about relationships before we went to break, and the fact that I do have, just as an example, I have a friend that is in a relationship, she's in a marriage, but the husband doesn't want to go to counseling. What do you do in a situation like that?
So I say probably about 85% of the time I'm normally contacted, more recently it's becoming more men, but I'm normally contacted by the woman first. Whether it's dating or whether it's married or whatever case it be. And then when I hear that statement, I give them this analogy. I said, you have to think about it like this. It's like both of you have a cold, right? And snotty nose and coughing and sneezing, right? Okay, so then imagine you go to the doctor and he doesn't, right? And then, the next day you still sneezing, coughing, he looking at you like, okay. So then about maybe a week later, all of a sudden, you're not sneezing anymore. Then maybe a month later, you're not coughing anymore. Meanwhile, he's still coughing, sneezing, blowing his nose, whatever. He's watching you.
Okay, so you're saying she should go ahead and get the counseling.
And so what happens is that she starts, and so again, you begin to change, and he's going to notice you. He's only with you every day, all day. And all of a sudden, he's like, who are you talking to? 100% of the time that the woman starts, the guy comes. It might be 90 days later.
That is
It might
so
be 2
true.
weeks later. It might be 6 months. 100% of the time, the guy comes because she up here reading. And God forbid you on the phone, because all my stuff is virtual. So God forbid you on the phone with me, you start laughing. She on the phone with a man, and you like, what he talking to her about? And it's like the ego thing comes in, and then he turn around and be like, oh, Elam, cool. I'm like, I know. And they all say it. They're just like, yo, you all right with me? And I'm like, I know.
Okay.
I ain't want your lady. You know what I'm saying? we trying to do something here, you know?
Well, they say therapists and, that a lot of times there's that crossover.
Never.
But you're not that kind of therapist. I love it.
100% of the time, ladies, the man comes. 100.
I love
because
it.
you're forging forward.
But I think it's like that in the relationship period. And I'll be a little transparent here. A couple months ago, I've been married 17 years. Mm-hmm. And actually, it's more than a couple months ago that this happened. I just got into this phase because of COVID, we are spending more time trying to do more stuff with the girls and they're not in certain after school activities.
Okay.
And so we are tested as far as COVID is concerned and we do wear a mask, but I try to get out and do stuff. And I noticed I'd been planning all these things and I'm like, it just hit me. I was like, he doesn't plan any of this stuff. Like he don't plan none of this stuff. So I started getting really, really angry, And so I planned another thing and he'll show up and, enjoy it and everything, but he wasn't planning it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what happened that weekend, but I just lost it. I just got so angry, so mad. I was crying about it. I was like, I'm the one that's always planning this stuff. Don't you want to do stuff with our family? And he's like, I'm gonna come wherever if you want us to do something, I'm gonna be there. And I'm like, that's not the point. I want you to plan it. So I talked to a friend of mine who's been married for 40 years, 30 years, and they're older couple. And she's like, have you ever told him? Just sat down and said, this is what you want. And I was like, well, no, I mean, he sees me doing it. And she's like, he has no clue that this is what you want at all.
And that's where the Blues Clues, I say a lot of times, comes into relationship. Blues Clues works on Nickelodeon. It don't work inside a relationship. You can't just think that just because you were out there shaking and moving and doing it, that he sees that. He's kind of like, okay, I probably didn't want to do that anyway. Yeah, let's start there.
I can't okay.
I didn't want to do it anyway, so you got it, so cool. And I will never plan, by the way. And but what happens is that what happens inside of conversation is that you've said it to him before, but you say it in heat.
Yeah.
When you say it in heat, we don't listen. And that's for you, for me, and me for you when you say it in heat. But when you sit me down, minus game, minus, whether they on their PlayStation, whatever, when you catch a moment and say, hey, I just want to talk to you about this. Now, even the first time you might say he might not get it, but we love you. Yeah. We don't want you to be hurt and upset, whatever the case may be. So we'll ultimately do it. And a woman has the power within her voice, the strength. If I wanted to say one thing to women, you have that femininity to whereas, okay. Yeah. We're going to do it.
I'll tell you what I did. Before the blow up, it went for about a week. He could tell something was off. Mm-hmm. And I'm married 17 years, happily married for 17 years, and I still fell into this trap of my own mind. He would come through the kitchen, I'd be cooking or something or doing something, he could tell I'm upset. He's like, what's going on? Are you okay? Nothing. I'm fine. I don't want to talk about it. Well, did I do something? No. And he went for like
World War I brewing.
Exactly, right. But what frustrated me was that he just got to a point, he was like, okay, honey, I don't know what's wrong, and he was just fine. I'm like, how can he just be fine all of a sudden? And then that's what caused me to blow up because it was kind of like, oh, well, you don't care.
You don't care. I was going to say, you think that we don't care. And it's kind of like we do care, but if you ain't going to say nothing, like I ain't got time to go figure that Blues Clues out. You know what I'm saying? When you're ready, I know she's going to say something when she's ready. And how much time could we in our relationships cut down by just simply, I have a friend that says something that they took the word plan and family and put it together and they call it planly time. Instead of saying, can we talk? Because when you hear that, you just like, oh God, what is it now? Versus it's like, okay, can we have some family time later on? And it kind of sets the stage of, we're going to sit down and plan for our family. And this is obviously important, so it resonates inside of their mind. So you got to sit down and do that. And if you don't want to do that, then you're missing a key piece of the responsibility of being in a marriage.
Absolutely. So. Well, what's some advice for single people that are looking to get married, especially with everything that's going on right now?
Sit down and figure you out. Because that's what life is all about. I would say that the single space, a lot of times, married people have a tendency sometimes to talk down to single people. Like, you don't understand what this is really about, whatever. And I say you need to be so excited. This is the best time in your life because you have an opportunity of forming exactly what you're looking for. And that starts with you. And I would say that, you loving yourself, because you're going to have to teach somebody how to love you. Yes. So why not maximize loving yourself? You should be seeking out mentors inside of your finances, inside of your health, inside of your business, inside of your relationship, so that you understand, because you're building a structure that you're going to be able to do down the road instead of starting the whole thing over. Yeah. So if you're taking care of now, when the person, when your mate comes along, they're able to see how you're operating. And I always say, there's 4 phases for ladies, particularly, that I always say that you want to think about. Phase 1 is understanding and knowing who you are and what you want. All right. Phase 2, and this is just really quickly, and this is, unshameless.
I was going to say,
inside of chapter 3.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, inside of chapter 3 of Understanding a Man, that chapter. And so, of course, inside of the book, I interviewed 24 men about various topics of the heart, and then I wrote about it. And so these are things that the men wanted women to know regarding, what they would want their daughters to know in order to have a longevity within their relationship. Yeah. And so chapter 3 is, do you see me? And so in that chapter, I only interviewed single men. Yeah. Because I wanted the single men to say, this is what we're really looking for, regardless of what you think out here. And so inside of that, the men that are in there, the shakers and movers and doing their things, from doctors to producers or whatever. And so that's where I came up with these 4 phases. So phase 1 is, knowing yourself, first of all right? And then phase 2, pay attention to his world, right? And figure out whether you can insert yourself into it gracefully. Okay. Because here's the thing, your world. Remember, figure yourself out first. Come on now. Now you're looking at his world, and you figure out how you can put yourself in there, right? Gracefully. Yeah. Not just show up at the family cookout. Hello. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then once you intertwine yourself in there, whatever you see, believe it. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Don't try to change it.
Nothing but a word.
Believe what you see.
I cannot tell you how many women that I meet, especially, ask me for advice, and they'll say something like, yeah, but he did such and such, and I kind of didn't like that, but you know what? Everybody has it, and it's like you're making excuses for what you saw.
Yeah, no, that's who it is.
You saw something that told you this is not the right situation. But Elam, I could keep you here all day, but I do want you to tell us about your training. You've got an event coming up. Right. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so, of course, the first book, I had an opportunity of really speaking more towards the ladies. And so, in the distance, you're like, well, we ain't going to talk to the men, right? Yeah. But it actually was divinely put together of, because there's some things that us as men, we need to focus on and work on as well. And, whether it's and it's and that's important from a leadership perspective, and so understanding that we're going to go over here in Huddle with this men's conference. Is going to be June 19th. Okay. Juneteenth is more people are understanding that's affectionately known as a liberation time for Black people as a whole. Well, there's a liberation within men that we need to do as well. And so the top 3 topics for men: money, sex, and respect. All right. So that's why it's called the Money, Sex, and Respect Conference. So we're going to talk a little bit about money. We're going to talk a little about sex and relationship. We're going to speak about respect and how you really earn that. So it is a men's conference. Ladies can come, because I know sometimes you might have sons or whatever case it be that might need that mentorship. I definitely want to encourage you to do that. But ladies can only come if you bring a man. A man. There you go. All right. And so a lot of times people are scared to operate inside of this space because men, we're, again, back to that built for tough piece. We don't want to go get some counseling or some conferencing, whatever case it be. I'm not even going to look at it like that. It's kind of like we're going to forge forward in order to improve our community one piece at a time. And so I'm super excited. The men that come there are going to be some amazing ladies there, kind of, I'm just going to say from a serving perspective. So you'll have your, and my business manager is a woman, so she put that together. She was like, oh, they're going to love this. So,
I love it.
Yes.
Well, how do people get in contact with you?
You can go to my website, understandingaman.com. You'll also see the conference information up there as well. Tickets are now available on Eventbrite. If you have a business and want to be a vendor, you have some vending opportunities
and
as
a little birdie told me you've got another book coming out too.
Yeah, that's actually going to coincide with the conference. So this is Understanding a Man, Memoirs of a Father to His Son. And so it's going to be the men speaking to their sons, or if they have a son, or just a young man as well, just kind of giving him.
What about men that have daughters?
That one. Well, we started with that. That's why we had that one first. So now, first the men were talking to the women, and now they're talking to the men. So it's not just for young men. It's just for men, period, but particularly those that might, need some extra guidance in certain areas.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's always a joy to have you on the show. It really is, and you truly are not just a gift to relationships, but I think you're a gift to people that are single too, because it's the single people that wind up getting into relationships. So if you can get this stuff right, I think you can have happy relationships, and you do that by following this gentleman right now. And how do people follow you on social media if you would like for them to do that?
Yes, you can follow me at Elam B. King on Instagram and Understanding a Man fan page on Facebook. We're also on YouTube as well for Understanding a Man. And you can also listen to my podcast, which is on Anchor and all the little major platforms or whatever. Understanding a Man podcast. I want to make sure I say everything. You can go to understandingaman.com. It's all up there.
Okay, then that's what we're going to do. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing us. I appreciate you.
I wanted to say I'm Mardy Mcfly earlier when you said it. I couldn't say it. I was like, okay, that doesn't go for that moment. But I just felt that.
I know, right? Well, thanks again.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for checking out our show. We'll be back next week, and thank you for listening to Doni Jones Live with Donnie the Tree Lady, and today with Mr. Elam King. And Mardy Mcfly will be back soon too.